Good morning and welcome to Master Trader, where you can learn to use simple market and stock analysis to make money investing and trading. I'm Greg Capra. Today we're going to take a look at continuation patterns because they are everywhere in the broader markets and in many stocks. So it's an appropriate time to speak about this with you if you're not familiar with these type of patterns. They do come in different forms. By the way, subscribe to the channel for further updates. While they come in different forms, the basic idea is that they act in the same way, meaning you have a push down, in this case a push down, and then a relatively sharp move up. Now, my favorite type of continuation pattern is one in which there isn't a resistance close at hand, but as I like to say, it is what it is, whatever we're dealing with in the moment. So let's just start with the S&P 500, and this is in part what I reviewed with our subscribers to the Master Trader Advisory Letter, that and many other things reviewing the broader markets and market internals. I'm going to touch on a little bit of the internals with you. So here was this move down, sharp move down. Notice the angle of retracement here is very sharp. And historically, for the market to come back with this type of initial strength is a bit unusual, but this market is a little unusual. Markets are always changing, and that is what makes them interesting for me and for many. So now on this move, how do we interpret it? Well, because of the move down, initially we'd be thinking, especially after this topping tail right here, that we'd get a pullback. And especially after that topping tail, that you had a second topping tail retesting the first, we're looking for a move down. And I was short spiders here looking for a move down. It didn't follow through, so I had to step aside. Now, when that happens and we get more information, especially like we had Friday with a strong move up, it suggests a continuation of the initial move. So what's going to happen now? What should happen now? What should happen is what we call a measured move to the upside. And so here's your initial move, and here's an attempt to move lower that did not follow through. And historically, what we get is a measured move back up. And in this case, that would be in the area of price resistance. Now, prices are trading just slightly above Friday's closing price. So the markets are gapping up a bit here this morning. NASDAQ futures are up 27, S&P futures up 11.5, and Dow futures are up 150 points. So they're already having triggered the continuation move here on the gap up. So if you're an intraday trader, best thing to wait for a little pullback or some type of pattern intraday type of continuation. Now, as you can see here, the transports have underperformed, and we're going to see if they can actually follow through and get through here. When markets are pushing higher, we want to see the transports participate as well. Here's the Russell 2000, the small caps. It's a similar pattern where it's gone sideways, and this is what we call creating support. We don't know that it's going to be support until it can take out resistance. But as we look at a concept that I call bar by bar analysis, it guides us to what should happen. So while this topping tail suggested a move to the downside, it did not follow through, and now we've got this green bar. So when you see this type of situation, the question becomes, is it just a whippy type of movement here that'll whipsaw you one way or the other, or does it actually going to follow through in one way? Well, in reality is, if you're going to participate, you take what I call a calculated risk, which entails money management. So if this triggers above here, and I suspect it will by the other markets being higher, you get in with your stop either below Friday's low or this low, and you share size it accordingly. Now, the Qs here, or the NASDAQ 100, have shown relative strength, and they're very close to the prior high. So you have to keep an eye on that, as when they get here, can it push up through it? And the underperformers then should start to outperform. Okay, a lot of information here that I'm giving you guys here, but this is part of Master Trader Technical Strategies. Here are our market internals that we review with subscribers. And what we have here is sentiment being very bullish. However, breadth is becoming bearish. That doesn't mean the markets cannot go higher, because with sentiment like this, it's kind of like these are neutralizing each other, so go with the pattern. We had confirmation of Friday strength with the day-to-day breadth, and you can see here the day-to-day sentiment, which is still bullish. So we're looking for the markets to go higher. They've already started to this morning. We'll see how far they get, and we will have another update probably tomorrow or the day after as we see things unfold. But subscribe to our letter, and we'll update you each and every day.